2026 June 3rd week World News Weekly Summary. Global Briefing. Economic Landmarks, Geopolitical Shifts, and Cultural Integration. This briefing document provides a comprehensive synthesis of critical global developments as of mid-June 2026. It analyzes the major economic, geopolitical, and cultural axes currently shaping the international landscape, ranging from the historic commercialization of space to unprecedented political accountability in East Asia. Executive Summary. The global landscape in June 2026 is defined by four central themes. 1. Economic milestone. SpaceX has successfully executed the largest IPO in history, raising $75 billion and establishing Elon Musk as the world's first trillionaire, signaling a definitive shift toward a new space economy. 2. Geopolitical volatility. While the U.S. and Iran move toward an interim peace agreement in Geneva, tensions remain high in the Strait of Hormuz. Concurrently, the Quad Alliance has launched a new maritime surveillance and critical mineral framework to counterbalance regional expansionism. 3. South Korean constitutional crisis. Former President Yoon Suk-yeol has been removed from office via impeachment and sentenced to 30 years in prison for illicit military operations designed to justify a failed martial law decree. 4. Technological integration in sport. The 2026 FIFA World Cup has commenced across North America, characterized by the deployment of advanced AI officiating and climate control technologies to mitigate extreme heat. 1. The commercial space revolution and market impact. The historic SpaceX IPO. SpaceX has fundamentally altered the financial landscape of the aerospace industry by debuting on the NASDAQ. This initial public offering, IPO, is the largest in history and reflects massive investor confidence in off-planet infrastructure. Metric. Detail. Capital raised, $75 billion. Shares offered, 555 million at $135 each. First day surge, up to 25%. Company valuation, exceeding $2 trillion. Elon Musk's status, world's first trillionaire. The proceeds are earmarked for ambitious projects, including Mars colonization, satellite infrastructure expansion, and the integration of aerospace engineering with advanced AI. Musk noted the transformation of the company from a precarious startup, to which he once gave a less than 10% chance of success, into an industry behemoth. Global market reactions. The SpaceX effect has reverberated through Asian financial hubs. Stocks tied to satellite communications, precision engineering, and AI have seen robust rallies on the Nikkei and other regional exchanges. Analysts view this as a permanent structural shift from government-monopolized exploration to a privately funded new space ecosystem. 2. Geopolitical realignments and maritime security. U.S.-Iran diplomatic tightrope. Diplomats in Geneva are nearing a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, to de-escalate hostilities. A tentative 14-point draft includes U.S. commitments, suspension of oil sanctions, and the release of half of Iran's frozen financial assets. Iranian commitments, reopening the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz within 30 days and ceasing maritime blockades. Despite this cautious optimism, military skirmishes persist. The U.S. has recently intercepted attack drones targeting commercial shipping, while President Trump claims the U.S. has covertly moved 100 million barrels of oil past Iranian lines to stabilize prices at $90 per barrel. Quad Alliance and Indo-Pacific security. Foreign ministers from the Quad, U.S., India, Japan, Australia, have convened to launch the Indo-Pacific Maritime Surveillance Initiative, or IPMDA. Objective: create a common operating picture to detect illegal fishing, piracy, and territorial incursions. Economic security. The alliance is establishing an expert panel to secure vulnerable critical mineral supply chains, e.g. lithium and rare earths, against monopolistic disruptions. AI initiative. India has formally joined the U.S.-led FORGE initiative, Forum on Resource Geostrategic Engagement, to safeguard the AI supply chain and microchip raw materials. 3. Political upheaval and legal accountability in South Korea. Impeachment and removal. South Korea's constitutional court has officially upheld the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol. This removal stems from his botched declaration of martial law in December 2025, which triggered a severe constitutional crisis. Acting President Han Duck-soo has issued emergency directives to maintain public order as the nation prepares for a presidential election within 60 days. Criminal sentencing for military provocations. In a landmark ruling, the Seoul Central District Court sentenced Yoon Suk-yeol to 30 years in prison. The crime: orchestrating illicit drone infiltrations into North Korean airspace in October 2024. The intent: the judiciary determined these operations were general enemy-benefiting activities designed to provoke a North Korean military response, which would then serve as a pretext for the martial law declaration. Co-defendants: former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun also received a 30-year sentence for abuse of authority and aiding an adversary. 4. The 2026 FIFA World Cup Sport, Tech, and Environment Tournament. Tournament scale and kickoff. The 2026 World Cup is the largest in history, featuring 48 teams and 104 matches across the US, Canada, and Mexico. Opening match: Mexico defeated South Africa 2-0 at Estadio Azteca. Regional highlights: South Korea faced the Czech Republic in Guadalajara. Canada secured its first ever World Cup point in a 1-1 draw against Bosnia-Herzegovina in Toronto, and the US defeated Paraguay 3-1 in Los Angeles. Technological advancements. This tournament is described as the most technology-drenched in history. SAOT, semi-automated offside technology, utilizes 12 cameras capturing 50 data points per second per player. Trionda Matchball features a 500 Hz motion sensor to transmit real-time telemetry data. Climacool technology. Borrowed from F1 racing, players are using pre-frozen gel vests to combat extreme heat exceeding 38 degrees Celsius. RefCam. Head-mounted cameras on officials provide transparency for disciplinary decisions. Environmental and security challenges. Extreme heat waves, exacerbated by a strong El Niño pattern, have forced FIFA to evaluate mandatory cooling breaks and schedule modifications. Security has also been heightened following a physical altercation involving German nationals in Toronto and the theft of England's training equipment during transport from Florida to Kansas City. 5. Cultural integration and societal trends. BTS and South Korean soft power. BTS celebrated their 13th anniversary with the Arirang World Tour finale in Busan. The BTS The City project transformed the port city into an immersive cultural hub, featuring media facades at Haeundae Beach and drone shows at Gwangan Bridge. The event was live-streamed to 3,800 cinema screens in 80 countries, demonstrating the massive economic potency of K-pop. Social issues and international incidents. Switzerland. The nation is debating a controversial proposal to legally restrict its population growth to maintain infrastructure and environmental standards, potentially limiting foreign labor. Australia, Pakistan. Diplomatic relations are strained following the fatal shooting of a 9-year-old Australian girl by police in Pakistan during an operational misstep. Bosnia-Herzegovina. The national team's World Cup participation is being highlighted as a symbol of collective psychological healing following the country's historical trauma from the 1990s Civil War. Conclusion. The data from June 2026 illustrates a world at a crossroads. While private capital is launching humanity into a new era of space exploration, and technology is revolutionizing global sport, the traditional geopolitical order remains fraught with maritime standoffs and internal political crises. The move toward accountability in South Korea and diplomacy in Geneva suggests a global effort to stabilize these volatile geopolitical fault lines.